I actually got to watch an interview with you that you did about a year or so ago, around the time Stacy Keibler got inducted into the Hall of Fame, and
Yes.
you were like very inspired by her, as a manager, as a
Yeah.
talent. What was it about Stacy to you and Tori that stuck out, and you were like, man, I want to do this. I want to be
That's a
in this
great
movie.
question, and I will say I wanna, just put this out there for the fans to know because I got a lot of flack about how it was misconstrued what I said, that I was surprised Stacy would go into the Hall of Fame when there are more, I don't wanna say more deserving, that's not correct. There are women that were wrestlers, actual serious wrestlers like Elisa Marie Varon, like a Mickey James,
Mhm,
that I kinda went, "Stacy was just a surprising choice." She's deserving of it
mhm,
1000%,
mhm.
but it was a surprising choice because she was not a serious wrestler. But I liked that she went in because I was, again, with all due respect, I did not want to be a Lita. I didn't want to be a China. I wanted to be a Stacy and a Tori. I wanted to be those girls that were, and that's why I think it's so fun to talk to women about it because they're like, oh, it used to be so terrible back in the day. And I was like, terrible. I would have never gotten into wrestling if there were only serious women's wrestlers. I wanted to be the photo shoots and the teasing of the men and, getting them, into trouble and things like that, and the damsel in distress. I loved that aspect, and I think that being a feminist, for example, is all about choice and all about diversity. So as a feminist who watches wrestling, it's fabulous to have the Sasha Banks and the Baileys and the Litas who are serious wrestlers, and Bianca Belair. And it's also just as important in the show. They're contributing just as much of the girls who were the Tories and the Stacys and the Lanas who were talkers. So I just preferred to go in that route of that more, I don't want to say more feminine, that's not the right word. I would say the less physical portion of wrestling rather. So, I wanted to be Stephanie, I wanted to be Dawn Marie, I wanted to be those girls. And with the Stacy and a Tori, I just loved that they were, I think the main thing, which is a great question by the way, thank you for that. I think the
Of
main thing that
course.
drew me in was it was very empowered feminism and it was very empowered sexuality. So they were not afraid to, be sexy and be in a bikini and show themselves off. There's nothing wrong with that. When I do lingerie photo shoots, I still do all the time. I do OnlyFans, and it's a lot of fun for me because I love the hair, the makeup, the feeling sexy, the posing in a sexy manner. I love that. I find it very empowering. And for those women that don't like that and don't take it seriously, that's their prerogative. But for me, I go, that's who I want it to be. I want to be a Dita Von Teese, I want to be a Pamela, like I said, Stacy, Tori. That aspect for me was really important because I felt like it made me feel very womanly and it made me feel very in control. And I liked that.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely agree that there's a place to have both, the serious
Right.
competitors and the models. And I think we need a little bit more diversity because I think it'll bring something new, get more people tuning in, and
Yeah.
I think it'll just create a whole new dynamic that I think more people would be, interested in.
Totally agree. And I think it's also very important for females, especially, to not tear each other down and to appreciate and respect that side of the women's wrestling that I particularly liked. Like you'll hear people all the time, like, can you believe, like I see it all the time on Tori Wilson's timeline, who is like my dream girl. I love her. And I mean, she's my God, the most beautiful woman in the whole world.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
nice, by the way. I've met her and I'm like, I can't even believe
She's a
I'm talking to you
sweetheart.
because yeah,
Mhm.
oh my God, I have like posters of her and stuff.
Mhm.
And on her timeline, it's like, "I can't believe you had to do that back in wrestling," and she always responds in such a lovely, eloquent way of saying, like, "I had a great time. I was not pressured to do anything. I was proud of my body, and I showed it off." Like, if that bothers you, then you don't have to tune in. Just like if it bothers you that women are wrestling seriously with the men, then tune out, period.
Right,
It's
right.
that's what it is to be a feminist and be, pro women's choice, is if that's
Mhm.
what she liked and that's what I like,
Yeah.
I'm also not gonna shame someone else for what they like, you know what I mean?
Right, exactly.